All right, let's get right into it because we've got an absolute power clash on our hands. The Chicago Bulls versus the Denver Nuggets. Look, this is not just another game on the calendar. This is a collision of basketball ideologies, a real test of wills. So the big question is, who's coming out on top?
And that right there, that's really what's at stake. This isn't just about getting a W in the win column. No. It's about imposing your will, your style, your entire basketball philosophy on the other team. It's about proving your way is the right way. The stakes, they honestly couldn't be higher.
And this all kicks off with how fundamentally different these two teams are. I mean, on one side, you have a team battling to carve its own identity out from under the massive shadow of a legendary dynasty. And on the other, you've got the reigning champs, a perfectly engineered modern basketball machine.
Yeah, when you hear Chicago Bulls, it's impossible not to immediately think of Michael Jordan and that incredible dynasty, right? But this team, they're writing their own story now. This is a team built on pure grit, a relentless defensive identity, and the clutch shot-making of its stars. They've got a dynamic backcourt that can just explode and catch anyone off guard.
And then you've got the Nuggets. They are the current blueprint for how to win in today's league. Seriously, they play this beautiful, efficient brand of basketball, and it's all orchestrated by their superstar center, Nikola Jokic. And let me tell you, he doesn't just play the game. He controls it from the high post like a grandmaster moving pieces on a chessboard. It's amazing to watch.
So this contrast is exactly what makes this matchup so fascinating. Chicago brings that gritty, hard-nosed defense and that unpredictable firepower. You just never know who's going to go off for 30. And Denver? They bring modern dominance through disciplined, methodical teamwork. It's a fantastic clash of styles.
Of course, these team philosophies are brought to life by some of the most skilled players on the planet. So let's meet the weapons each side is bringing into this war.
For Chicago, it all starts with DeMar DeRozan, the undisputed king of the mid-range. The guy makes impossible shots look like layups. Then you've got Zach LaVine, a player with just ridiculous athleticism who can score from literally anywhere on the court. And you cannot forget Alex Caruso, the ultimate hustle machine, a defensive past who can single-handedly change a game's momentum with his energy. Denver's arsenal is just as stacked, believe me. You've got Nikola Jokic, the Joker, the engine that makes the whole thing go. Then there's Jamal Murray, a certified killer in the clutch, a guy who just elevates his game when the lights are brightest. And you absolutely cannot sleep on Michael Porter Jr., a shooter so pure he can break a game wide open in just a matter of minutes.
You know, we have to spend an extra second on Jokic because he is truly a basketball unicorn. The guy is a walking triple-double threat every single night. He's not just a player, he's an entire offensive system, bending defenses to his will with his insane vision and passing.
Okay, so now that we know the players, let's look at how they all fit into the bigger picture. This matchup really does become a battle of philosophies. You could call it a tactical war between speed and brains. The Bulls, they thrive in chaos. Their whole game plan is to push the pace, use their incredible athleticism to get easy buckets in transition, and then, when the game slows down, they trust their elite scorers like DeRozan and LaVine to just go win their one-on-one matchups.
The Nuggets want the exact opposite of that. Their game plan is all about execution and control. They use elite passing and perfect floor spacing to generate high-percentage looks, patiently dissecting the defense with Jokic at the helm, making every single teammate better in the process.
And this right here, this sets up the fundamental tug-of-war we're going to see. The Bulls will try to speed things up, hunting for fast breaks and ISO scores. The Nuggets will try to slow it down, run their patient offense through Jokic, and get the best possible shot on every single possession. Whichever team dictates the style of play, well, they've got a huge advantage.
And honestly, this quote from our source material just sums it up perfectly. It's a fundamental battle between structure and chaos. Which one is going to prevail? Because a game like this, with two such different teams, it almost always comes down to just a handful of critical moments. This is where the game is won or lost. This is where legends are made. So you have to ask yourself, in the final 2 minutes, with the game on the line, does DeMar DeRozan rise up and drain that impossible, contested fadeaway that he's so famous for? Or, on the other end, with the shot clock winding down, does Nikola Jokic just pull a rabbit out of his hat? Does he find that unbelievable cutting pass or hit some bizarre off-balance shot to seal the game?
And what about the unsung heroes?
Does Alex Caruso dive on the floor for a loose ball or come up with a game-changing steal that completely flips the script? It's not always about who takes the final shot, you know?
Because that's the bottom line in a matchup this close. One single play. One moment of brilliance or one costly mistake can be the difference between a thrilling victory and a heartbreaking defeat.
All right, we've broken down the styles, the players, and the philosophies. So that leaves just one question. Who takes the crown in this spectacular matchup?
The paths to victory are pretty clear, actually. The Bulls can absolutely win this game if they control the pace and their stars hit those tough contested shots. On the other side, the Nuggets win if they stay disciplined, stick to their game plan, and just let the brilliance of Jokic take over.
So, my prediction? I've got the Denver Nuggets taking this one. Their championship experience and just the overwhelming force of Nikola Jokic's talent might be too much to overcome. But make no mistake, the Bulls are going to make them earn it every single step of the way. This will not be easy.
But hey, that's just my take. This is a matchup that could truly go either way. It's a clash of styles that promises to be must-see TV. So now, I'm turning it over to you. Who do you have winning this one? Let the debate begin.